Hello YouTube and the Tribe of the Horror Realm. This is our, kind of late because we saw it Wednesday, but our review for the film Dark Shadows. Um, it's obviously Sunday morning now, so we took our good sweet time getting this thing out. But we did decide to go see it Wednesday evening, and well, before I get into it, what were your thoughts on Dark Shadows, honey?
I thought it was a great movie. It was kind of like a laugh out loud kind of thing. It was just um, Johnny Depp. This guy can just like put himself in any character he can be, and he played Barnabas Collins very well. He was very comical, and he worked well with the whole cast, and it was just a great movie. Laugh out loud kind of thing. Very comical. Um, it was good.
Now, I enjoyed the movie. I wouldn't call it great, but um, the I can see the thing is this is what she said about the comedy is probably one of the big things that is kind of garnering it a lot of negative reviews and a lot of disdain from especially legions of Dark Shadow fans from the original series. But when this thing came out, I looked at it like, how do you take a long-running, what is it, about 5 years or something like that, gothic soap opera that has over 1,200 episodes, so that's like hours of character development and such, and turn it into a 112-minute movie. Impossible. Now, this is one of those films. A friend of ours, Tim, 410 Goodfellas, when we discussed the Rob Zombie Halloweens, which I'm not a fan of, he basically says you really just can't compare it to the original. I feel you can because it's basically doing the same thing. It's a slasher film. But I really did this with Dark Shadows because it's not a soap opera, it's a movie. And, you really can't do the same things you can in a soap opera that you can do with a movie. So I really didn't want to compare it too much to it. I knew that they were going to base the characters off the series, and they are somewhat loosely based. Not trying to give any spoilers out and all, but Jackie Earle Haley's character, Willie Loomis, in the movie, he is basically like a caretaker, the groundskeeper, a servant for the Collins family. Very quirky, and he was an enjoyable character. Um, Yet in the original series, he was a really kind of a vile, sneaky bastard, very in it for himself. He was the one that actually, looking for the renowned Collins treasure, um, unlocks the coffin that had, for 2 centuries, held Barnabas Collins. And then after that, he's forced into servitude. Um, he was kind of a reluctant one. He was very smarmy towards Barnabas, and he started becoming a very redeemable character. But all this is, of course, over a period of 1,200 episodes, you can do this type of development with various characters. And in this one here, they just really didn't. There was no character development for the side ones beyond being, little back and forth exchanges with Johnny Depp's Barnabas. As far as Depp's performance, I'm a huge Depp fan, but he really has kind of been doing the quirky character with a lot of his roles, and very reactionary. And so this movie kind of plays, since he's been buried for 2 centuries and he pops up in 1972. It plays with a lot of the fish out of water. Um, and they really liked. I could see that Burton liked the original series as well as Depp. Um, they they actually went, you know, they liked it, but they also felt it was trying to push in a lot of different things. There's a part in the climax where they introduce a twist with a character that because there's a part of it that happens within the series, they decide to throw it in. It was kind of unnecessary. Michelle Pfeiffer playing the matriarch, Elizabeth Collins, she did a pretty decent job in the role. Ava Green played the antagonist, Angelique, and kind of a one-trick pony, but it's like, you know, if you can all you throw is a fastball, but you throw it really well, what does it matter? So she kind of played it over the top, but I kind of enjoyed her villainry, but it was definitely more of a comic book or Saturday morning cartoon villain. Chloe Moretz, she plays Carolyn Stafford, and Stoddard. I'm sorry, Carolyn Stoddard, and she was all right. I thought it was a little droll and mundane. Again, these characters weren't given any time for any type of development and were more background characters. Now, as far as the look of the place, the movie, the Collinwood, the mansion was fantastic. It looked absolutely beautiful in the movie.
Yeah, it did.
And
I cried at the end.
Because they destroyed it.
Yeah.
But as far as if you're a real die-hard Dark Shadows fan, you're gonna probably really dislike the movie because of the comedy elements and the way he plays Barnabas, kind of a little more of a buffoon. The kills in it, they're not very gory. I like the fact, back to the Collinwood, it's very gothic, and it didn't have that quirkiness of a Tim Burton film where, you know, things have to be a little askew or off kilter, doors and such. More traditional look to this. But like I said, if you are a Dark Shadows fan, you're really not going to like it unless you can remove yourself from the soap opera and view it as like an entity unto itself, or just a different take. Also watch for cameos of the late Jonathan Freed, who played Barnabas Collins in the original series, as well as Catherine Scott, Lara Parker, and David Selby, all key characters that were in the original series.
Also, Alice Cooper is in it too.
Oh yeah, and there's a really good scene with Alice Cooper that they play off of. The humor itself, they get into a bit of sophomoric humor at points with that running gag about the balls. Remember?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, but other than that, it's probably if you can diverse yourself from the series, definitely worth checking out. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't call it great, but it was entertaining for 112 minutes. So that's it. Thank you very much, and have a good morning.